June night, about 10:30 in the desert. The air is warm and we are looking for critters on the blacktop. Reptiles love the heat radiating from the roads as the air cools down from daytime low 100-degree temperatures. Borrego Springs lies at the foot of the Peninsula Range Mountains, where high desert meets the transition zones from the chaparral high above.
A desert banded gecko. It's a nice size one too. They don't grow that large. Beautiful, sharp, long tail. It's really a perfect specimen, to be honest with you. And Carly saw it. I saw it driving, but Carly saw it.
Carly, a 7-year-old, is seated next to her uncle in the lead scout car. She spies a lizard in the middle of the road, and she yells for her uncle to pull over. The 4x4 just stops as she dashes out to cup and capture it with her hands. I rush from the car, camera equipment in hand, as the rest of the party gathers around. To our astonishment, we are seeing a most attractive and seldom seen species of lizard, the Western Banded Gecko, Coleonyx variegatus. We are in the territory of the Western Banded. We are looking at the just right time and place to find these geckos. All factors for success are in place. We score. These reptiles spend most of their time in rodent burrows hidden underground. They hibernate in the winter months and only hunt, feed, and mate in the early hours of the evening when it's warm. This species has 7 subspecies living in the deserts of the Southwest, from southern Utah to the tip of Baja California, Mexico, and from the California coast over the mountains to the eastern border of Arizona. Carly is holding the gecko carefully in her hand as we wait to identify the specimen. According to the field guides, we are in the area where the desert subspecies is located. But the picture in the field guide looks exactly like the San Diego banded subspecies. Hence confusion, but still satisfaction that we have reached species identification as a Western Banded Gecko. In the field guide lies a clue about what is happening and why our confusion. Clue was the word INTERGRADE, 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 which describes the beginning differences within species. Subgroups become different due to changes in their habitat. So that night we found a gecko that looks like a San Diego subspecies, whose habitat area is the mountains, the chaparral, and the coast, to the west. It was captured in the area of predominant desert subspecies. If we were professionals, or we were to capture and keep this little friend, we could get a correct subspecies identification. Instead, we learned along with Carly a great biological lesson on evolution. As habitats change and become different, species intergrade, mixing in transition areas, but may eventually become subspecies and finally become separate species. In the beginning of this process, differences are subtle, while individuals can still interbreed. With time and change, the subspecies may increasingly become so different that individuals can no longer breed with each other. Our young friend Carly, who at 7 years of age shows promise of being a great naturalist, talked with us about this concept before we released the gecko into its habitat. Carly showed a clear understanding of this principle of how life adapts. What a great wildlife and educational time we had that night. This was a nature adventure at its best.